to 8. Obviously, I will try to bring things to a conclusion as reasonably as possible, but those in favour of a continuance? Yeah, against? Okay, I'll take that as a sense. So unless anyone screams loudly at me, how do colleagues feel regarding Mr. Bolter's proposal, Councillor Quirk? Thank you. Councillor Content.
I'm content, all apart from this issue with a left-hand turn, because I do think there has to be an element of personal decision making by the driver. And I think it might be confusing. I think it might be more confusing to have what we're talking about is effectively, without a separate TRO, which would be needed, is a suggestion to turn left. I'm not, so everything apart from that, I would be in favour of. Thank you.
Would you like to hear further details in terms of a form of words that officers may be able to suggest? I don't.
Sorry, Chairman, thank you. I think ultimately this is probably going to be a matter for the floor and for councillors to decide whether, I think probably those making the motion, whether they're happy for that to be in or not, and then both those voting on the motion, whether they wish that to be, whether they wish to use that as a reason to go against it. Sorry.
Thank you. Councillor Quirk, followed by Councillor Brody. Councillor Quirk. Councillor Brody. Agree. Then we will move to the motion. So the proposal from Councillor Quirk, seconded by Councillor Brody, is to go against officer recommendations in relation to approval of this, with the conditions which have been promulgated as heads of terms to be delegated to officers for a form of words, but in principle to accept that this application is approved. I believe, as this is going against officer recommendations, this has to be a named vote. Is that correct? It is correct. So, Marie, can I defer to you? Do you have what's the form of process here? We'll just go around the room. I'll go around the room, in which case, so Councillor Andre?
Or.
Thank you. Councillor Brody? Or. Councillor Critchison?
Abstain.
Councillor Fuller?
Against.
Councillor Dadwin?
Or.
Councillor Jones-Evans?
Abstain.
Councillor Oliver? For. Councillor Price?
For.
Councillor Quirk? For. Councillor Spink? For. Councillor Stewart? For. And I myself will be abstaining as the convention of chairman. So whilst Marie tops that up, but the motion is, you just get the absolute numbers before we. Thank you. Yeah, the motion passes 8 for, 1 against, 3 abstaining. Thank you very much. We move on then to the next matter on our agenda quickly, which is, I'm going to go straight to committee members' questions. Are there any questions? Councillor Price.
Thank you, Chairman. It's not a question. It's just with regards to our planning enforcement function that we have in Newport and Carisbrooke. I would just like to say what an excellent arrangement it's been so far. I'd like to thank Mr. Bolter for his hard work in getting that going. It's something that Newport and Carisbrooke Community Council pay for, and some of my colleagues here support the planning enforcement function that we have specifically for Newport and Carisbrooke, that is obviously paid for by the taxpayer. But I also wanted to just give a little plug to the planning enforcement officer. She is absolutely outstanding and has had some fantastic results in the town. She takes a very careful approach to how she handles these things. It's not been too painful, and I think Newport has seen quite a improvement because of that work. So it's just a thank you, really.
Thank you, Councillor Price. Mr. Bolton.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Price, for that. Hopefully that might have saved me on some of my advertising budget for our excellent enforcement service. So councillors, if you and any of your parish, town or community councils are considering utilising the offer, please do have a conversation with me, and we'd be very pleased to see what arrangement we can come to. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any further questions? Councillor Andre.
Sorry, not on a question, but I can't resist coming in on the back of what Councillor Price was saying. For several years, I really fought to have a planning enforcement officer for Sandown, and finally got enough support to get that through. And I think it's only been a year. Now, I think it's fair to say that planning enforcement is not a quick fix. People seem to think that a planning enforcement officer is going to come in and everything's going to happen. But like Councillor Price, things are starting to happen. And I had a particular example where for 5 years we've been trying to to engage with the owner. I was aware that the agent, the owner coming over, and I actually contacted the planning officer in a meeting with them when they said they were willing to meet with her, and she came straight out. And as a result, we are moving forward. So again, yeah, so I fully endorse that. It may not be immediately obvious, but the work that they do is absolutely outstanding, and things will come to fruition because of it. I'm absolutely sure, and that will become more and more evident. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Andre. Any further questions or comments? In which case, I draw matters to a close. Thank you very much to colleagues, and thank you to officers. Thank you.